Hi guys, and welcome back to Helltaker the Second Circle. Last time, me and Modius tangoed. That's about it. And I'm just gonna say again, her outfit. Sheesh! But that was, Modius' a tango dance lesson. So now, it's these three, or her. Still don't know whether to refer to Cerberus as multiple or singular. Either way, let's get on over to her third date. For the first time in far too long, you found yourself with some free time unburdened by the needs of the household. After making sure the house wouldn't self-destruct while you did so, you've elected to spend your precious free afternoon catching up on some much-needed sleep. Your sleep is not a peaceful one, however, and disturbing visions swirl around in your head like a goldfish in a bowl. Justice joins a professional soccer team, backed by a cheerleading squad consisting of Modius, your college elocution teacher, Mr. Thorndyke, and Grandmother Taker herself. Your dreams are soon interrupted, however, by a rather strange rocking sensation, accompanied by an all-too-familiar voice. Wake up! It's talk. Her? Is this Cerberus or someone else? Confusing as your dreams may be, you still fight your hardest to remain asleep, as your conscious mind is dredged from the subconscious pits of slumber into the waking world. Well, there she is. You open your eyes to see 3 sets of luminous red orbs staring back at you. Cerberus sits on your bed, one of her 3 bodies sitting cross-legged upon your chest. I actually like how she's all bouncy now. That's kinda cute. She rocks back and forth with her breaths, tipping at extreme angles that would topple people with worse balance than hers. Seeing that you're awake, all 3 bodies break into identical excited smiles. You're awake! Finally awake! We've been trying to get your attention for a while now. You must have been really tired. I was. Well, technically, I still am. Can I ask why you're here? You can! So, Cerberus, why are you here? The body straddling you beams, leaning in, almost close enough to touch noses. Wait, which one is close to my face, though? Whatever. Her voice comes out as an excited whisper, her breath hot on your cheek. It's time to learn the truth. She's been holding out on us all this time, and we've had enough. Today, we're taking back what's ours. A small seed of worry plants itself firmly in the back of your mind as you hazard your next question. Wait, does this have to do with, crap, what was her name again? One of, those newer demons from, the second dates. You're talking about Lucifer, aren't you? You still want to ask her about your bodies. Cerberus nods seriously, her expression growing a shade darker. We feel things the other girls don't. We're more potent, but we don't really understand anything about where we came from. Lucifer is the first demon we can remember, so she must have had answers. Only problem is, every time we ask her, she finds a way to avoid answering us. She trapped us in the laundry room last time. Wait, the laundry room? How did she manage that? She made a sign and distracted us. What sort of sign? It was a very mysterious sign. We couldn't figure out what it meant. What did it say? Only 2 words. Guess what? ... She locked the door while we were reading it, and we were stuck there until Judgment let us out. Well, that explains the howling that kept you awake last night. We aren't giving up, though. We're going to talk to Lucifer and make her tell us everything. And how do you plan on accomplishing that? Do you really have the raw power to force Lucifer, Queen Lucifer, to tell you the truth? Cerberus rolls her eyes in mild frustration. Of course not, dum-dum. That's why we woke you up. We need your help. Come on, come on. The seed of concern has laid down roots and is starting to push leafy tendrils up your consciousness. Either oblivious or willfully ignorant to your mounting worry, Cerberus hurried you out of the bed and into your day clothes. Her eager hands perhaps a shade too much show. The demoness leads you out of your room onto the second floor landing, talking non-stop. Okay, we've been watching Lucifer very carefully over these past few days. We know her schedule. Top to bottom, inside and out. She always comes upstairs for a glass of wine sometime around 3, so that's when we'll strike. All we have to... I am so sorry. Well, we have the high ground. You don't want to try anything when someone has the high ground.
I have the high ground!
You bite your lip, concerned. So run me through this plan of yours. Lucifer comes walking up the stairs, and then you... Opening a small locker by the banister, Cerberus withdraws a tangled, gladiator-style weighted net. Two of her bodies struggle to untangle the mass pool of porous fabric, while the third one turns to continue her lecture. We'll wait up here, just out of sight. Then, when she comes up the stairs, we net her. Like a fish. A fish that won't talk to us! Imprison the Queen of Hell in a net. This isn't some Saturday night morning cartoon, and that little thing won't stop her for more than a couple seconds. More like milliseconds. We know! That's why we decided. Two thin but surprisingly strong arms wrap around your waist. Grunting, Cerberus hoists you off the ground, holding you triumphantly over her head like a deadlift champion. Wait, how strong is Cerberus? And only two of them, right? Because I doubt that one of them will lift me up. We're going to throw you down after them. You're just gonna yeet me? You're just saying that Lucifer has a weakness for you. So we're gonna use you as our secret weapon. Whoa, hold on there, girls. You can't just pitch me down the stairs. They're African mahogany. Put me down and let's talk about this. While your efforts are futile, Cerberus bears you inexorably towards the banister, all the while continuing to detail her master plan. Then, when you've pinned her down and she's all tangled up in the net, we'll ask Lucifer. Ask me what? Cerberus whirls around at the voice, pinwheeling your body through the air. Lucifer stands at the base of the stairs, eyebrow cocked and hands on her hips. And just what are you doing with my taker? Okay, sure, girls, sure. Cerberus drops you to the ground with an unceremonious thud. Judging by how big I am, it has to be more than a thud. You get to your feet, dusting yourself off as Cerberus, her plan scoopered, desperately tries to come up with a good explanation for her behavior. We were playing a game? No, wait, Tigger saw a spider and he was super scared and... Girls, just stop talking. Just don't. Cerberus visibly deflates in the face of Lucifer's steely gaze. Her prolific excuses diminishing to a barely audible mutter as she averts her gaze. Gathering yourself, you address Lucifer in Cerberus' stead. It's alright, Lucy. We were just horsing around. Cerberus got into the WWE tapes again and wanted to try performing a backbreaker. So we're now having this video sponsored by WWE. Lucifer makes her way up the stairs, eyeing the two of you suspiciously. In a blur of motion, one of Cerberus' bodies darts forward. Brandishing the net, you have barely enough time to stick out your leg, sending her tumbling head over heels into the banister. Wait, did I kick her? Wow! I swear, this better not be animal abuse. Please don't strike me for this. She hits the wood with a crash, struggling to extricate herself from the net. As she thrashes around, you privately admit that you underestimated the mesh webbing. Unaware of the finer points of the drama unfolding on the landing, Lucifer crests the top of the stairs. Turning her gaze to you, Lucifer's voice comes out in a dangerous monotone. One more chance to explain. What are you doing? I'm not in the mood for jesting or playing around, so if I don't like your answer... She lets the threat hang there, unspoken, but unmistakable in its intent. You cast a questioning glance at Cerberus, who nods wordlessly, steeling herself. You place a hand on one of her shoulders and turn back to Lucifer. Lucy, we have some things we need to talk with you about. We were disagreeing on how exactly to get your attention when you showed up. Lucifer's countenance softens a touch, and she puts her hand to the bridge of her nose, sighing deeply. You and the rest of the household. Well, whatever it is, it shall have to wait until later. I have a job for the two of you that can't wait. From a pouch at her waist, Lucifer withdraws 4 sticks of railroad chalk. Fanning them out, she offers one of them to you and the rest to Cerberus. I've decided our home security is in much need of some refurbishment. Cameras and locks won't be enough to deter a demonic assault. We're going to need something much sturdier than what we currently have. And your solution is... chalk. In a sense, I wish for you to draw me a ritual circle that will allow me to better ward the house from attack. Reaching into her back pocket, the Queen of Hell withdraws a small piece of paper, upon which is traced a solid-looking asymmetrical sigil. This is a Geoshin glyph of Halphus. It acts as a sort of battery through which we can channel magic into static objects. I need you to trace this around the outside of the house. Once you finish drawing it, Justice and Judgment will be able to channel some of their considerable power into the glyphs to buffer our defenses. Do this for me, and I will consider honoring your request. Do we have a deal? ... Yes. Good. Now, I must depart. I have much to do, and increasingly sparse amounts of time to do in it. Departing, Lucifer leaves the two of you pondering the lengthy task ahead of you. After a moment of contemplation, Cerberus speaks. Just who does she think she is? Imitating Lucifer's soft and lofty manner of speech, one of Cerberus' bodies addresses the other two with eerie pantomime. So sorry, but I just can't be bothered to talk to you, Cerberus. Maybe if you do an extra job working for me, I might consider giving you the time of day. She turns back to you. She didn't even say she would hear us out, mind you. Whatever they out there saying about us, we do pay attention. Well, sometimes that is. You shake your head, mildly impressed. I will say, her ability to wrap people up in her plans is commendable. Her ascension to the throne seems more and more believable every day. Cerberus says nothing. Her face is sport identical scowls of irritation. Perhaps now isn't the best time to compliment Lucifer's abilities. Let's try to get this chore over with and done with. We can make plans and work at the same time. Do we have to? You let your silence answer for you, and Cerberus rolls her eyes. However, she follows you outside without further complaint. Wait, I don't remember having this in front of our house. Once outside, you quickly settle into a rhythm, marking sign after sign on the house's exterior. After studying Lucifer's diagram for a moment, Cerberus sets to work alongside you. Working in perfect sync with herself, she soon manages to coat a significant stretch of the house with a densely packed layer of sigils. The two of you chat as you work. Cerberus is speaking body changing as she rotates around you, chalking in symbols. Excuse me. Taker, do you have a purpose? Purpose? Like a thing I'm meant to do? Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not sure I do, Cerberus. I can't think of any one particular goal my life would be incomplete without. Is that what you mean? Whoa, Taker, isn't your life goal previously to go into hell and get all the girls for a demon harem? And you've done just that. So, now, what are you supposed to do? Yeah. I guess the closest thing I have would be my ties to you and the other girls. What about you? What do you think your purpose is? We aren't sure. Strauda and Melina have their mortal vices. And justice and judgment both like seeing jobs through the end. Oh, the window above you opens and Lucifer pokes her head down. A mostly empty bottle of wine dangles from her fingertips. Looks like Cerberus' prediction was right on the money. After you're done, run along to the store to pick me up more of this Chateau Sanguine, won't you? This bottle's almost dry. Without waiting for a reply, Lucifer withdraws her head, shutting the window behind her. Cerberus punches the side of the house, her blow cracking the old brickwood. Okay, that for sure will get her attention again, Cerberus. Please. And that old goat will never be happy unless she's telling someone what to do. We're not a servant to be ordered around, or some pet to be fondled at her leisure. Why do we have to do her dirty work? If it's independent you want, I'm sure we could negotiate too. But Cerberus is already shaking her head at your suggestion. No, we don't want independence. We just want a direct answer from her. You keep saying you want answers, but I'm still in the dark as to what that means to you. All the other demons understand their place in the world order. They have a purpose, and that purpose exerts a strong pull on their character. We don't know what that feels like, what our purpose is. Sometimes, we get these flashes, a certain urgency to do something, but there's no feeling of fulfillment or purpose to it. Until we saw Mammon threatening you in the park, that is. Okay, yeah, Mammon, that was that demon chick's name. It was like reaching back to scratch an itch, but realizing halfway through that the source of the itching is buried deep in our skin. That's what it felt like when I got close to Mammon, like there was purpose in me being there. Apart from you saving me, you mean? Well, it's complicated, but it felt like the two were connected in some way. We got this incredible feeling when we were pounced on her in the park, and again when we chased her down in the alley. We felt like we could have fought her forever and never gotten bored. Do you think your purpose is tied with Mammon in some way? Cerberus nods after a moment's thought. Yes, we do. And we think Lucifer knows the specifics and still won't share them with us. ... We've been doing some thinking, and we have something important to ask you on the subject of our benevolent queen. Do you trust in Lucifer's intentions? Do you really think she wants what's best for the rest of us? Ooh, that's a deep answer. But come on, just cause she's this benevolent queen of hell and she's like all high and haughty and prideful, of course she cares about, well, the rest of her demon family. So of course, yes. Yes, I do. She might be manipulatory, secretive, and dangerous to oppose, but I think she has our best interests at heart, by extension at least. Her fortune is as tied to ours as ours is to hers, and I trust in her ability to remain self-interested. How can you still trust in her after everything you've seen? After she's made it perfectly clear she doesn't care for our peace of mind? It's not quite as simple as trust, but I believe that Lucifer doesn't perform actions rashly. If she's keeping secrets from us, there's likely a good reason for it. We may not understand it right now, but there may be an excellent reason for her keeping us in the dark. Don't think that'll stop us from approaching Lucifer, though. We will find our purpose. But what if finding your purpose means surrendering your agency? Surrendering? How so? Well, is it really worth knowing your purpose if knowing your purpose dictates your actions? Oh wow. That's actually a very deep question. Not, is it really worth knowing your purpose if knowing your purpose dictates your actions? I've never really thought of that. All three of the demons' bodies cocked their heads at you. Come again? You sound like those angry old guys we used to torment in hell, the ones with the funny white dresses. I remember they used to call Lucifer by a different name. Hey something or other. Old men in white dresses. Were they philosophers? That's it! Philosophers! Okay. You sound just like them, talking in circles like your words are spaghetti noodles. Well, in simple terms then. Would knowing what you are supposed to do compromise your freedom to choose for yourself? Do demons have free will? Free will? Yes. Do demons possess the ability to think and do things outside of prescription and habit, to change the world around them in unprecedented ways? Like with fire? Ooh, we're good at fire! Watch, I'll give you an example. What doesn't carry a burn risk? You finish tracing the most recent symbol on the side of the house. You examine it for a minute before setting the chalk aside. Reaching out, you smudge the sigil with your finger, marring the surface of the protective glyph and compromising its shape. I told Lucifer we would ring the house in these markings for her, and it's in my nature to hold to the promises I make. However, should I choose to, could freely sabotage the work I'm doing and put us all in danger. Now, obviously, I won't do that, but the freedom to choose right from wrong remains nonetheless. Excuse me. As you repair the damage done to the sigil, Cerberus furrows her brow, trying to make sense of what you've just said. I don't see why anyone would want to be able to make wrong choices. Well, some people don't. Some people live their entire life with precepts telling them what they can and can't do. And that's a choice as well, I suppose. But even if a choice may not be in the human's best interest, we are free to make that choice to the best of our abilities. Traveling to hell in search of a harem? Now that was a choice I made that was probably not in my best interest, but I had a dream. A dream that I was willing to risk my life to see through. A dream? Huh? You say you want to corrupt the mortal world. You say that you want to discover more about yourself. But how do you want those things to come about? Outcasts like Mammon already seem to have a firm rooting in this world. If you wanted to, you could leave for hell this very day, relatively confident that the earth will twist towards corruption without your hand in the affair. But we don't want that. Cerberus looks up at you, her eyes shining with epiphany. We want to be the ones to do that. So I challenge you with one final question. How do you want to go about learning more about yourself? Do you really believe you'll be happy with the information you get from Lucifer if it dictated your purpose from this point forwards? Or would you rather seek out your own truth and discover who you are along the way? ... Why is this so deep? Mulling your question over, Cerberus spends the rest of the chore in stolid silence. As she finally sketched the last of the sigils onto the front door of the house, she speaks. Even if the knowledge might be tricky to accept, we owe it to ourselves to try and draw it out. Yeah, we aren't afraid of anything. Reaching out a hesitant finger, Cerberus moves slowly towards the sigil on the door. Half an inch from the surface, her finger runs into an invisible barrier. She pushes forwards regardless, sweat beading on her forehead, as her two other bodies move to support her arm and guide it forwards. We don't know where we come from, or how we came to be. If Lucifer will tell us, not properly anyways, then we do know someone who might. Someone who knew enough about us to stop us in our tracks, who I bet we could convince to spill any secrets she may be carrying. Cerberus looks up at you, a predatory glint in her crimson eyes. Helltaker, how about we go Mammon hunting again this weekend? Ignoring the sinking feeling in your stomach, you put on a smile. Sounds great, Cerberus. Okay, that was the third date. Just deep thoughts about Cerberus's purpose in her life. Huh, interesting. So, in the end, Cerberus won't spill any sort of secrets of Cerberus and Mammon's possible connection. Wow, I guess we'll have to find out even more, hopefully in the fourth date. But for now, that was Cerberus' third date. We got Molina up next. And I really hope that it's not just another drinking and gaming date. But we'll find out soon enough. So if you guys enjoyed me and Cerberus' Deep Thoughts session, hit that like button. And consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me. And with that said, I'll see you around soon.